You want to know the secret? The real difference between people who just exist and people who elevate? It's not luck, it's not timing. It's what they do when no one's watching every morning. That first one, see, your morning isn't just a routine. It's your launch pad. It's the spark that decides whether you live the day or the day lives you. Let's break this down. 6 simple truths. 6 powerful shifts. You want to know the secret? The real difference between people who just exist and people who elevate content? It's not luck, it's not timing, it's what they do when no one's watching. Every morning, that first one, the world glorifies the big wins, the awards, the applause, the success stories. But what we don't see is the quiet consistency behind it all. The 1% habit that compounds into greatness. It's not about waking up at 5 a.m. or drinking green juice. It's about ownership, the decision to begin every single day on your terms, because your morning isn't just a routine. It's your foundation, your launch pad, your mirror. The first few moments after you wake up set the emotional temperature for everything that follows. And the truth is, if you don't choose your focus, the world will choose it for you. That first one, how you think, how you breathe, how you move, can shift everything that happens next before the world floods your phone with noise, before the opinions, emails, and expectations of others crash into your peace. You decide who you are. That first choice defines the next 99. Are you reacting or are you leading? Are you reaching for your phone or reaching for your purpose? Most people wake up and surrender to chaos before they've even stood up. But that 1% is to their power. They choose differently. They create intention before the world demands their attention. They choose stillness before speed. They ask themselves one simple question: what energy am I bringing to my own life today? That single question transforms confusion into clarity. It separates those who drift from those who direct. Because success doesn't start when you show up to work. It starts when you open your eyes. Your morning is the declaration of how seriously you take your own life. That first hour of your day is sacred. Guard it like a queen guards her crown. No notifications, no distractions. This is where you tune in, not to the world, but to yourself. Think of it as sacred space, your personal ceremony with purpose. Read something that feeds your soul. Move your body. Breathe deeply. Journal your gratitude. Do anything that reminds you you're alive and powerful. When you own your morning, you command your power. People can feel it, the confidence that comes from inner alignment. The world responds differently when you walk in tuned energy. It's not arrogance, it's clarity. The kind that can't be shaken by external noise. You become less reactive, more grounded, more deliberate. That's what owning your morning truly means. It's not about control, it's about connection. Connection with yourself before you face everyone else. Movement is the next key. Energy isn't found, it's uncreated. Every morning, move. Even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it. Movement is a signal to your brain that you are ready to engage, to show up, to live fully. It's not just about fitness, it's about awakening. When you move your body, you release stagnation. Physical, emotional, mental. You're not just stretching muscles. You're stretching your limits. 5 minutes of movement can transform your state. The moment your blood flows, your thoughts sharpen, your confidence rises. You go from, I can't, to let's go. That shift is powerful because it's not about perfection, it's about participation. You're reminding yourself, and I'm capable. I'm in charge. The body leads and the mind follows. You don't wait for motivation, you generate it through motion. And that's how transformation begins, by doing something, not waiting for something. Then comes the inner dialogue, the most powerful conversation you'll ever have. The way you talk to yourself in the morning defines how you face the world. You can't pour courage into your day with self-doubt in your voice. You must learn to speak to yourself like you would to someone you love. Stand before that mirror and declare your truth. Not empty affirmations, but powerful acknowledgements of your strength. Say, I'm not my past, I'm not my fear, I am becoming. Every word you speak creates a ripple in your reality. Words shape emotion. Emotion shapes action. Action shapes destiny. That's the sequence most people miss. You have to feed your mind with language that lifts you, because the world will always try to pull you back to average. Every morning is your chance to choose growth over doubt, purpose over hesitation. Speak life into your day before anyone else speaks into you. Once your energy and mindset are aligned, focus on clarity, not perfection. Most people start their mornings buried in to-do lists, chasing productivity but losing purpose. Stop, simplify. Write down the 3 things that matter most today. Just 3. Because productivity without intention is just noise. When you focus on what truly moves your life forward, you create momentum instead of exhaustion. Your morning should make you feel anchored, not anxious. It's not about getting everything done. It's about getting the tight things done. Perfection is an illusion. Purpose is power. You don't need to conquer the world before breakfast. You just need to conquer your mind. Create a rhythm that feels true to you. Let your morning be your reminder that you are not running behind. You are right on time for your own evolution. And finally, do one brave thing. Just one. The 1% habit isn't about coffee or cold showers, it's about courage. Every morning challenge yourself. Say the thing you've been afraid to say. Start the idea that's been whispering in your heart. Send that message, speak that truth, take that step. Bravery compounds like interest. The more you practice courage, the stronger your identity becomes. You begin to recognize yourself as someone who acts despite fear. That shift changes everything. You stop waiting for the perfect time and start realizing unto you are the perfect time, because every act of courage, no matter how small, creates momentum that carries through your day. The 1% habit is not about routine, it's about identity. Every morning you're deciding the kind of person you're becoming. Are you the person who hesitates or the one who chooses? Every sunrise gives you a choice, repeat or rise. You can live on autopilot, replaying yesterday's patterns, or you can rise and rewrite your story. That one habit, that single moment of awareness becomes your edge. The moment you decide to start your day with power, intention, and courage, everything around you starts to shift. Because transformation doesn't happen in the grand gestures, it happens in the quiet commitment to show up differently every single morning. That's the 1% that compounds into mastery, success, fulfillment. Don't underestimate it. Don't postpone it. Start tomorrow as if your future depends on it, because it does. The world doesn't change when you wake up. It changes when you do. Before the world floods your phone with noise, before a single notification blinks on your screen, there's a sacred window, small, quiet, and powerful. That first breath you take when you wake up is your moment of choice. The moment you decide who you are going to be today. Most people give it away too easily. They wake up and instantly hand over their peace, their focus, their intention, to a glowing screen filled with someone else's priorities. Before they've even spoken to themselves, they've already let the world decide how they feel. That is the tragedy of modern life. We've forgotten that our first thoughts build our reality. But here's the truth, the first choice you make every morning, defines the rest of your day. That choice might seem small, like checking your phone or lying in bed for 5 more minutes. But those small choices are powerful patterns. They're statements to your subconscious about what matters most. And if the first voice you hear each morning is not your own, you've already silenced your inner power before the day begins. The 1% who rise differently. They understand that the first moments of the morning aren't about reaction, they're about creation. They don't open their phones, they open their minds. They don't scroll, they breathe, reflect, and choose. They decide consciously what kind of energy they will carry into the day. Because they know that life doesn't respond to wishes, it responds to energy. And your morning energy is the foundation of everything you will think, say, and do. If you start with chaos, you'll spend your day chasing calm. If you start with intention, you'll move through the world with quiet power. So ask yourself every single morning, what energy am I bringing to my own life today? That single question is your anchor. It transforms confusion into clarity. It takes you out of autopilot and back into awareness. You start seeing your mornings not as something to survive, but something to shape. You start noticing how your choices stack, how the way you start your day determines the strength with which you finish it. This is why that first choice, before sunrise, before distractions, is sacred. Because in that silence, you are raw and real. The world hasn't yet touched you. You're still pure intention, and that's where power is born. Think of your mind like still water at dawn. The moment you throw in a stone, an email, a headline, a message, you create ripples. The key is to choose which ripples are worth your peace. The most successful people guard those first ripples fiercely. They protect their morning mindset like it's the crown jewel of their success. Because it is. They meditate, reflect, breathe, or simply sit in gratitude. They feed their mind before feeding on the noise. It's not about being rigid, it's about being aware. Awareness is everything. When you become aware of what you allow into your space, you stop being at the mercy of the day and start mastering it. You realize that your peace is not a gift from the world, it's a discipline you build from within. So how do you protect this space? You claim it, boldly. That first hour after waking up, guard it like a queen guards her crown. Because that's exactly what it is, the crown of your day. In that hour, there is no room for chaos, comparison, or clutter. It belongs only to you. It's your time to connect with your higher self, your vision, your truth. Maybe you sit in stillness. Maybe you read something that elevates your thinking. Maybe you move your body and wake up your strength. Whatever your ritual, make it intentional. This is where you tune in, not to the noise of the world, but to the voice inside you that knows exactly who you are. When you treat your morning as sacred, something magical happens. You start walking through life differently. You're no longer rushing, reacting, or overthinking. You're leading. You're grounded. You're focused. You carry yourself with the quiet confidence of someone who owns their energy. And people feel it. They may not know what changed, but they'll sense your clarity, your composure, your light. The power of a protected morning lies not in the routine itself, but in what it represents. It's a declaration. A statement that says, I choose myself before the world chooses me. When you decide to keep your mornings sacred, you're not just building habits, you're building self-respect. Because you cannot serve others, lead others, or love others fully if you are running on empty. The first hour of your day is how you refill your soul. You pour strength into yourself before the day starts pouring demands on you. It's not selfish, it's survival. And once you experience what that kind of intentional morning feels like, you'll never go back. You'll crave that peace, that clarity, that sense of grounded power. Because it's addictive, the kind of addiction that heals you, the kind that helps you show up as the best version of yourself, not just for you, but for everyone who crosses your path. Every time you protect that hour, you're sending a signal to the universe that says, I am ready, I am focused, I am in charge. You become unstoppable not because your days are perfect, but because your mornings are powerful. Challenges still come, but you meet them with composure. Stress still shows up, but it doesn't shake you. You walk through your day with the posture of someone who is centered in their truth. You are no longer reacting, you are creating, and the people around you start to notice. They'll ask what changed, why you seem calmer, sharper, stronger. The answer is simple. You stopped letting the world write your story before you even opened your eyes. You reclaimed your time, your mind, your morning. You decided that before anything else, you come first. That's not arrogance, that's alignment. That's power. So protect your first hour like your life depends on it, because it does. That first 1% of your day is where your strength, your focus, and your greatness are born. Don't let the world steal it. Don't surrender it to noise. Own it, nurture it, guard it fiercely. Because when you own your morning, You don't just own your day, you own your destiny. Energy isn't something you stumble upon. It's something you create. Every morning when you wake up, your body is a vessel waiting for direction. Will you fill it with stillness or strength, hesitation or heat? The choice is yours. Most people drag themselves out of bed, heavy with yesterday's worries, expecting energy to appear like magic. But that's not how life works. Energy follows action, not the other way around. You have to move to awaken your potential. That's the 1% shift that separates the unstoppable from the unfulfilled. You don't need fancy equipment or long routines. You just need movement. A stretch, a walk, a few push-ups, dancing in your kitchen. Anything that sends a message to your brain, I'm alive, I'm ready, I'm in charge. That simple act of motion sparks momentum. And momentum is the heartbeat of transformation. The science is simple but profound. Movement changes chemistry. When you move your body, you release endorphins, natural energy boosters that transform your mental state. Your heart pumps faster, oxygen fills your blood, your brain lights up. You begin to think clearer, focus sharper, and feel stronger. That's why people who exercise in the morning often radiate a different kind of energy throughout the day. They've charged their inner battery before the world even wakes up. But it's not just about biology, it's about psychology. When you move first thing in the morning, you're sending a message to your subconscious, I am disciplined. I follow through. I take action. That belief carries into every task, every decision, every challenge you face. You've already proven to yourself that you can push through resistance. And that victory echoes all day long. What most people don't realize is that movement isn't just physical, it's emotional. Every time you feel stuck, anxious or uninspired, it's not your life that's paralyzed, it's your energy. Your body mirrors your emotions, and your emotions mirror your body. When you slouch, your spirit slouches with you. But when you lift your chest, roll your shoulders back, and move with purpose, something within you awakens. That's why it's so important to move, even when you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. Because that's when it matters most. That's when movement transforms from exercise into empowerment. The moment you choose to move despite resistance, you build emotional resilience. You're not just burning calories, you're burning doubt, fear, and inertia. You're teaching your mind that you are not controlled by feelings, you are driven by choice. It's easy to look at successful people and think they have some secret fuel the rest of us don't. But their secret isn't hidden, it's habit. They don't wake up feeling inspired every day. They create inspiration by moving their bodies, aligning their energy, and claiming control over their mornings. They've learned that when you move your body, your mind follows. The discipline of moving early in the day trains your brain to act before it argues, to focus before it flounders, to lead before it lags. This is why movement is one of the most underrated superpowers in life. It's not about perfection, it's about activation. Whether it's a 10-minute run, a yoga flow, or dancing to your favorite song, every drop of sweat is a declaration of power. Every heartbeat whispers, I'm becoming stronger than my excuses. Think about it, how often have you waited to feel ready before starting something? We all do it, we wait for motivation to appear, forgetting that motivation is the done result of action, not the cause of it. You don't need to feel inspired to move, you need to move to feel inspired. That's the paradox of progress. The hardest part is showing up, the rest follows naturally. The moment you take that first step, your body starts generating the very energy you thought you lacked. That's the beauty of the one habit. You don't have to transform your life overnight. You just have to move a little more than you did yesterday. Over time, that one pounds into strength, confidence, and unstoppable momentum. Every morning becomes an opportunity to prove to yourself that you are in command of your energy, your focus, and your direction. And when you do this consistently, when movement becomes your daily ritual, you begin to carry yourself differently. You walk into rooms with